Thank you all for coming today. I was born in May 1995, so that is what my speech is going to be about. There were several events that happened in this month, which I'll be talking about today. Everything was so much cheaper back in 1995 than it was today. So, some of the prices back in 1995 were: the average income for a household was $35,900. The average price for our house was $113,150. A gallon of gas was $1.09. A postage stamp was $32 And then the average cost for a new car was $15,500. A dozen eggs were $1. A dozen eggs were 87 cents. And then I looked up some stats from last year to compare the prices, and some of them were: the average price of a new house was $420,000. The average for a gallon of gas was $2.75, and a dozen of eggs was $1.98. So as you can see, there is a big difference between the prices. So the times have changed from that year to this year. In the next couple of paragraphs, I will be talking about the musicals and shows that opened up in the New York City theaters in 1995, the earthquakes that hit some countries in May of 1995, and then some of the issues that came about in the countries. There were several musicals and shows that started playing in New York City. One of the big ones was On the Waterfront, and that opened at the Atkinson Theater and played 8 shows. Another show was Hamlet, which played at the Belasco Theater for 121 performances. And one other show that opened up was called My Thing of Love, and that played at the Beck Theater for 16 performances. During May of 1995, there was also 2 earthquakes that happened. One of them was in Greece, and it was a 6.5 magnitude earthquake. And another earthquake was in Russia. It was in a small little town, and that earthquake killed 2,000 people, and it was very devastating to the buildings and the Russian economy. There were also several other issues that were going on around the world during the month of May. One of the issues was that Serbian missiles kept exploding in Zagreb, and it killed 6 people. Another issue was in South Africa when 104 miners got in an elevator accident, all died. This was very bad, so everyone was mourning in that country that day. In Kinshasa, they were under quarantine after an outbreak of Ebola virus. This was very scary for that country because if the Ebola virus got out, it could kill millions of people. And they also were still trying to come up for a cure to get rid of the Ebola virus in people. Also, Jacques Chirac wins French presidential election in May. So overall, May was filled with several events in 1995. Earthquakes that took place in Russia and Greece killed a ton of people and were devastating to all the buildings in those countries. There were a lot of musicals that took place which helped people in New York have something to do for fun. Everything was so much cheaper, and the economy was more stable back then. And there will always be weather catastrophes that will cause damage around the world, and we just have to live through them. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.